Hello there, what's crack? I like it. I'm Scotty. You're not. And we back. Yep. I noticed that the Talkfield podcast was getting close to the end. They're at episode 17 last week when I'm recording this. So it's about time for me to jump in. A part of me wanted me to do it this past weekend, but I wasn't this lazy sitting around on my butt. Kinda. But no, I was pre-recording for something. It'll be up starting in June. So, for this, we are back with now season 6 of Smallville. Trugging along. Part of me thinks I can go ahead and start doing Supernatural. I wanted to finish this, but if I'm doing it each time they go through a season, I do have time in between to do other stuff. I don't know though, because summer's coming up. I gotta do a sequel-a-thon, and then I don't know. But we're on season 6, episode 1, entitled Zod. Where we last left our hero. Zod was now in control of Lex's body, and Clark, deciding not to kill him with the Kryptonian blade, but instead to kill Fine, freed Zod. He went into Lex's body, and then Clark was sent to the Phantom Zone. And that's where this episode starts off. So, yes, I still didn't have cable at this time. I still didn't have access to watch this when this first came out. So I had to wait for the DVDs. Yes, I had to wait. Sucks. You don't have access. You really want to get into it. When you get into a show, then you lose access to cable. Like in the middle of season 4, I think I lost it. I didn't see the graduation episode when it aired. I had to wait till I got the DVD set. So no, I never finished season 4 back when it was airing because we lost cable around that time. So yes, the episode starts with Clark pounding, "Let me out! I'm stuck in your bucket." No, he's pounding on the, like you usually see with them in the Phantom Zone. He tumbles down a hill, and he is immediately attacked by 3 phantoms. 2 or 3 phantoms. He is saved by someone mysterious. He thanks her, but then she kicks his ass and says, "Welcome to the Phantom Zone." And we get the opening theme, which is the same. There's a few added stuff from this season, like we'll see later in this episode of Zod and Clark flying through the air, and some other stuff added to it. But it's pretty much the same opening from last season, but without John Schneider in the cast. It's just no new cast members. Just John Schneider is now gone. When we cut back into the episode, we are now back in Metropolis, where, if you remember, Chloe and Lionel were being accosted, yes, I know words, by some hooligans. However, I'm supposed to say that. Hooligans. But the butler comes to save the day, and they're able to get away, and they have a debate, because Lionel believes that the only way to stop this is to kill Zod with the blade that was given to him by Jor-El, which means it would kill Lex, which of course Chloe doesn't really understand. Lionel claims that his connection to Jor-El is gone, that he can't decipher the Kryptonian writings anymore, and so they go their separate ways. Meanwhile, back in the fortress, back in the Phantom Zone, Clark finds out he's rescued by a woman named Rhea, who was an assistant to her father. I do like his reply. He's like, "I was his assistant." He's like, "What, when you were 5?" Apparently, the Phantom Zone helps you to not age. And I'm going to put it out here. Some of them are just thrown in, like people, the way they look, and some are just phantoms, like Zod. So bad that they were taken out of their own bodies and turned into phantoms. Yeah. And she says that there is a portal. Her crystals strong enough to stop the phantoms, and that there is a portal, and she can take him to it. Meanwhile, we go back, and Zod is now standing above his kingdom, and Lana shows up. So, Kristen Krug is a good actor, but I don't think she gave the right response to this. Because she's like, she says something to the effect of, "Oh, we gotta save the people down there, Lex." And he turns to her and says, "Lex Luthor is dead." And her response is, like she's scared or something. And I'm just like, shouldn't she be more confused? Shouldn't she be more like she take less stuff? Like she's scared? Like it hit her? Shouldn't she be more like, you're right there? Somehow understand it's not Lex. He explains that his name is Zod. But we gotta pick up from another point that I forgot. Martha wakes up in the airplane that she was in. Lois is gossip right now because she needs. It's one of those Smallville things. They need to be unconscious. They don't see the stuff. Though, from what she says to Clark later, she saw it. She just, and Martha realizes that it crashed outside of this large ice structure. And when she brings Lois in, somebody calls out her name, Martha Kent. Jor-El. This is the Fortress of Solitude that Clark told us about. No one else but the Chloe has ever been there. No. Well, technically, Jonathan was, but in the deleted scene, and it was just his buddy. So, meanwhile, Zod, is going to hook up to the satellites to terraform the Earth to be more like Krypton. And later they outright say that it's Zod's fault that Krypton was destroyed. Later. So, pretty much confesses it. Technically, Brainiac was working with him, so technically Brainiac also destroyed it. I like that story better. I don't know what, the animated series worked that in. The rest of these ones don't, for some reason. What Zod wants is an heir provided to him by Lana. She rebels and he ends up stabbing her hand. And this girl can teleport. I don't know. Chloe is looking through her desk at the Daily Planet. The Kryptonian symbols. When she hears a noise, she digs underneath, and she ends up finding a young man, Aaron Ashmore. Not to be confused with Shawn Ashmore, who played a different character named Eric Summers early on, but the twin brother. And I remember I was confused because you can go to the CW website. There are certain sub-sites. You can go to Supernatural, Smallville, One Tree Hill, I think had one. So I went to the Smallville one, and they had this big thing that's in the book of all the cast members and the two recurring cast members from this season. And it was Justin Hartley, and it was Aaron Ashmore. And of course, they looked the same, so I looked at them and I go, wait, the Leech guy is back? And I'm looking at Jimmy Olsen. They're recasting Aaron Ashmore. Who the is Aaron Ashmore? Because I knew Shawn Ashmore. Apparently, he has a twin brother, and he was in the 2 episodes of Are You Afraid of the Dark when I was a kid, and I thought it was Shawn Ashmore because they look the same, but no. So his brother is an X-Men. It's X-Men. An X-Man. No, his brother is an X-Men. And he is Jimmy Olsen. Asterisk. And I can't explain that asterisk until we get to his final episode at the end of season 8. Because there's such a big asterisk. Because I think it's because everyone complained, oh, he's too old. He's too old to be Jimmy. Jimmy goes, you're too old. They get everything right. He's all perky and happy. Calls him CK. Yeah. I never got it. I liked him. He's a little old, sure. Better than that guy from Batman v Superman. You know, the guy that sets up those terrorists and he gets killed. That's Jimmy Olsen. Now, if you didn't watch the extended edition like you should have, you wouldn't have known that was Jimmy Olsen. In the theatrical version, it's just some guy. Because I'm thinking Warner Brothers wanted to actually use Jimmy Olsen at some point. And that kind of a down point for me in that movie. Yeah, I wish Jimmy Olsen was used better. And that guy was also too old. And he also ends up playing a role on Smallville later on in the series. So, yeah. Not a very important one. But, yeah, so this is Jimmy Olsen. James, excuse me. Which also makes no sense, figuring out what we learned. I guess James could be So, Martha makes a deal with Jor-El that she will find a way to stop Zod if he sends her back. So he does. She reconvenes with Lionel, and then Lana walks in, and it's like neither of them are gonna be able to do it. She'll do it. She can get close of him to do it. And then wait, smash cut. She's already there because she could teleport. Apparently, she got there fast, and she seduces him. Tries to stab him, and it doesn't work, and he breaks the dagger. Oh no! What do we do now? But she says she agrees to give him an heir, the first of many. This does sort of continue in like a subplot with her being pregnant later on this season. We'll get to it. It's kind of stupid the way they go. The way they do it, but meanwhile, inside the Phantom Zone, Raya takes Clark to the to where the portal is, and we discover that Namek, who is what's his name from Heroes, he was in the first episode of season 5, and he and the girl were banished. He and his girlfriend were banished to the Phantom Zone. I said it should have just been Ursa and Nan, but it's not. Leonard Roberts is the actor's name. Yeah. Turns out it was a trick, and they were going to use it to get out. But, guess what? Double cross, because she was actually going to trick Namek into helping Clark escape. So he does, and he lands on Earth, but we see that he's not the only one to escape from the Phantom Zone. That's important, although Namek is not one of the ones that escapes. So he arrives to confront Zod, and Clark is actually really smart here. He gives up. He gets down on his knee. He kneels before Zod. And then he puts his hand out. Zod puts his hand out to serve him. He does that, but he has the crystal, and it extracts the phantom version of Zod from Lex's body. And Clark has saved the day. So he has that crystal, which will be very important throughout the rest of the season. Yeah. And so Clark immediately goes to the obstacle to visit Lois. And she finds in Clark that she saw the forces of solitude. Although he tries to convince her she just got a little bit too knocked on the noggin, but she claims that she actually died and went to heaven, but she somehow got brought back. She conked out she was on the plane, and she woke up in the hospital, so she didn't know how that happened. And so he gets to meet Jimmy, who calls him CK, like I said, which is confusing once you find out later stuff. We'll get to it. So, yeah. There's a ride around. We find out Lex does not remember anything. So, when Clark came barreling into the hospital looking around, I'm like, he's going to walk up to Lana, right? No, it's Lois. So, yeah, but then Lex goes to Lana, and he says, he claims he doesn't remember anything. I say claims because it's Lex and you're going to believe anything. You know, that he could remember anything. And, yeah. And Martha tells Clark that Jor-El is no longer connected. Lionel is no longer connected to Jor-El, and Clark confirms that the fortress is dead. He went to talk. He stashed the crystal there and went to talk to Jor-El, but he didn't talk back. He's gone, I guess. And then we see that Lionel may not be telling the truth because he is scribbling down Kryptonian words again. Lionel never tells the truth. It's a Luther thing, I guess. But there you go. That's the episode. And like most of the time, I don't remember. Isn't it like I do it by 5, right? This episode was pretty decent. I'll give it 3 out of 5 Superman logos out of 5. It's not bad. It's not bad. A decent opener, I think. And we'll see where the season takes us from here. Till then, thank you for watching. I'm Sky, and I'll see you in the next one.